Imagine how a city might look like in the far future. This was the challenge facing a group of MUAD students as part of the masterclass Toekomstbeelden en conceptontwikkeling as they flew to Valencia for a 4-day urban design workshop. But why go all the way to Spain? Is it to understand how cities originate? How they grow from tiny fishing village to commanding fortress? We are here to learn how they transform over time into engines for economic prosperity. For instance, addressing any possible future water shortage this Mediterranean harbour will have to cope with, where new methods of salinated crop harvesting are being brought into play. Of course, it helps to be on the spot, to walk around and taste the genius loci, experience the local morphology, meet the people, smell the subtropical air. Enjoy a mindfulness session in a beautiful park, uniquely created out of a former riverbank as a result of citizens' participation during a dictatorial regime. Spot the similarities between the bark of this tree and the texture of one of the many bridges across the city park. Bonding is an essential component of the workshop. The connection with fellow students and teachers to broaden and enhance scope. The lively discussions, the exchanges on outlooks on life. Accompany your professor to a local rap bar, try Latin dance, or gyrate at a silent disco into the early hours. Expose yourself to poetry in broken Spanish. Enjoy Electra in Santiago Calatrava's over-the-top opera building, or simply admire architecture by another Catalan hero. All this and more. An exquisite city walk with an expert guide literally opens your eyes as he points out planning peculiarities everywhere in the city. A sport complex only accessible by car. Antique market halls that expand into an industrial compound. Embrace and cherish the block grid system and adopt the core of an apple, the manzana, as a symbol and centre for socializing. Create a climate-controlled virtual shield on the one hand and talk to the locals about improving their own neighbourhood on the other. Be inspired to the maximum. Attend lectures at the local UPV university. Clarify the growth and standstill of Valencia from highbrow academic categorization to a local hands-on proposal for waste quarries. Grasp the way things are done here. Compare to your own country. So, as a budding critical professional, you learn to set your own standards. Transpiration during hard work is the only way to get the adrenaline going. Stimulate each other in groups of 4. Check out this idea to relocate a dying village where young people have all left. Nazareth 2.0 is to be spread across a former car racing track, extending the riverbank into the sea. Embrace the contrasts, be it a World Cup sailing splash for the super rich or investments for poor parts of town. Take this design by the city architect for a public pavilion. Which other European city can boast of such intriguing contrasts when spending taxpayers' money? But what are the mechanisms behind these developments? It means configuring an original approach along an initially diverging path and ending up in a converging design track, while reflecting individually on your own learning curve. We teamed up with a local artists' centre, which was once a shoe factory producing children's shoes for Holland, situated splendidly in the old town with ample space to explore each other's creativity. A wonderful atmosphere where music and geometry meet, where we apply acquired techniques in modelling in combination with artistic expression. Where we share a burning desire to extract some architectural DNA, to digest local sentiment, to come up with something new, to deliver a futuristic concept off the beaten track. As this group did with their superb vision of possibilities for a container terminal, detested and cherished in equal measure. all within the context of rising sea level. Valuable spatial concepts require focus on local patterns, in terms of streets and squares of human desire and compassion. Only through such specific effort can universal qualities be addressed and fantasized about, with all levels of scale at stake. Regardless of any conviction, on Friday morning, all this imagining blossoms, synthesis of analysis. Proudly and all dressed up, these disciples take a stand. Some proposals that could be implemented directly, others visionary. The projects of all 4 groups are assessed by the tutor and commented on by our special guest in a roundup session, confirming how urban area development relies on explorative design, as this bunch of determined students luckily found out.